There is something about Taeyoung and Jungkook that refuses to feel scripted. No matter how polished the stage, how controlled the schedules, or how carefully moments are managed, there are fragments of reality that slip through, and those fragments are what keep people awake at night. Not because they are loud or obvious, but because they are quiet, unguarded, and deeply human. The kind of moments that don't ask to be believed, only noticed. What makes Taekook feel so real has never been about grand gestures. It lives in the smallest details, the instinctive glances, the unconscious mirroring, the way silence between them never feels empty. In an industry built on performance, they often seem to forget they are performing when they are together. That is what unsettles people in the best way. You can rehearse choreography, lines, even smiles. You cannot rehearse comfort. Over the years, fans have watched countless interactions pass by in seconds, yet linger in memory for years. Jungkook reaching out without looking, already knowing where Taeyoung is. Taeyoung adjusting his pace, so Jungkook naturally falls beside him. These are not moments designed for cameras. In fact, they often happen when attention is elsewhere, when guards are distracted, when interviews end, when lights dim. That's when reality leaks through. There is also the way they communicate without words. Taeyoung has always been expressive, emotional in a quiet, artistic way. Jungkook, despite his confidence, often carries his thoughts inward. Somehow, they meet in the middle. A look from Taeyoung can soften Jungkook instantly. A simple presence from Jungkook can ground Taeyoung when his emotions feel too large. This balance is not something you can manufacture. It grows only through time, shared pressure, and trust. What keeps people awake at night is the consistency. Years pass, eras change, narratives shift, but the core remains. Even as individuals grow and evolve, something between them stays intact. Not frozen, not stuck in the past, but moving forward together in subtle ways. They don't cling. They don't over-explain. They simply exist side by side, and that quiet continuity feels louder than any declaration. There are moments when Jungkook looks at Taeyoung not as a global icon, not as a bandmate, but as someone familiar in a world that constantly changes. And Taeyoung, in return, often looks at Jungkook with a softness that suggests safety rather than admiration. That distinction matters. Admiration fades. Safety endures. Fans often say Taekook feels real because their bond does not demand attention. It doesn't seek validation. It shows up naturally, sometimes even inconveniently, slipping through cracks where it was never meant to be seen. And when it does appear, it doesn't feel like fan service. It feels like life continuing in the background while the world watches something else. Another reason it lingers is because their dynamic has never been linear. It has shifted, stretched, grown quiet, then close again. Real relationships do that. They don't stay frozen in one version. They adapt. They survive misunderstandings, distance, pressure, and time. Seeing that kind of evolution within the relentless pace of fame makes it impossible to dismiss as coincidence. What truly keeps people awake, though, is not the moments themselves. It's what they imply. That despite the industry, despite expectations, despite the weight of global scrutiny, something genuine has survived. Something unscripted. Something that didn't need to be named to be felt. Taekook doesn't haunt people because of what they show. They haunt people because of what they don't explain. The pauses, the restraint, the unspoken understanding, the sense that whatever exists between them belongs to them alone, untouched by interpretation, protected by silence. And maybe that's why, late at night, long after the videos end and the photos stop circulating, people still think about them. Because in a world where everything is analyzed, packaged, and sold, Taekook represents something quietly rebellious. Connection without performance, closeness without proof, and a reality that never asked to be believed, only felt. What deepens that restless feeling is how naturally they seem to retreat into each other when the noise grows too loud. Not in an obvious way. There is no dramatic reaching, no declarations, but in the subtle recalibration of energy. Jungkook becomes quieter around Taeyoung, more anchored. Taeyoung becomes steadier around Jungkook, less scattered. It's as if their nervous systems recognize one another before their minds do. That kind of attunement isn't learned overnight. It's built through years of shared uncertainty, pressure, and trust. There are also the moments when they drift apart, and somehow those make everything feel even more real. Distance doesn't erase what exists between them, it reshapes it. When they reunite, there's no need to re-establish anything, no catching up on what was missed. They fall back into rhythm as if time merely paused and waited. That ease, returning without repair, is something only genuine bonds carry. People stay awake thinking about Taekook because their connection refuses to resolve into a clear narrative. It doesn't offer a neat beginning, middle, and end. It doesn't answer questions. It lives in ambiguity, and ambiguity is uncomfortable because it feels honest. Life rarely explains itself. It just happens quietly while everyone else is busy demanding clarity. There's also a tenderness in the way they protect each other's inner worlds. Taeyoung, who wears his emotions like art, never exposes Jungkook. Jungkook, who guards his vulnerabilities carefully, never simplifies Taeyoung. They allow each other complexity without trying to translate it for others. In a culture that constantly asks idols to be understood, that mutual protection feels almost radical. Late at night, when the world slows down, people replay small clips, forgotten interviews, passing glances, not to prove anything, but to reassure themselves that real connection can exist even under impossible conditions. Taekook becomes less about them as individuals and more about a feeling. The hope that sincerity can survive visibility, that closeness doesn't always need explanation, and that some bonds are strongest precisely because they remain undefined. And maybe that's why it lingers so deeply. Because Taeyoung and Jungkook don't offer a story to consume, they offer a mirror. One that reflects our longing for something steady, something chosen, something quietly real. Something that, once noticed, doesn't let you sleep so easily anymore.